Well, hey there, friends. Welcome to episode 10 of Learning Hand Tool Woodworking. And today we're going to work on exercise 9 out of the Teacher's Handbook of Sloyd. And since you watched my last video, you'll know that we worked on exercise 12, so we're going backwards. So you did watch my last video, didn't you? Oh, I'm just kidding, because I know a bunch of you this will be your first time ever seeing this. So uh, those of you that are regular viewers, hang with me for just a minute as I tell the new viewers what we're doing. So we are working our way through the Teacher's Handbook of Sloyd, and we are learning how to use hand tools all the way from a very simple task of doing a straight cut all the way to building complex furniture. We're doing that through the Sloyd method, which has 88 basic skills that you need to go from a very beginner to an accomplished woodworker. And last week we did exercise number 12. Exercise number 12 is face planing, in which we took a rough piece of lumber and we made a perfectly smooth surface using winding sticks. So let's go over to the book and maybe you'll get an idea of why we are out of order. So this is exercise number 9, which is squaring. And that is to prove whether two plane surfaces in a piece of wood are at right angles. Okay. In order to do that, you place hang on, come back over here. You place the stock of the square against your reference surface. What is a reference surface? Well, let's go back to the book, and you can see that the stock of the square is grasped in one hand and the inner surface is placed against the face of the work, i.e. the side which was first planed. All right. So in order to do this squaring exercise, you have to have a perfectly planed face, which we didn't do until exercise 12. So that's why we had to do 12 first. We're coming back doing 9, which is squaring. You remember exercise 8 was doing edge planing, but it did not talk about square. So what we do is we take the square, place it against the reference surface, which we know to be flat because we use winding sticks to prove it. We know that to be flat. Place the stock against there. It helps for me, old eyes, all that stuff, helps me to hold it up to the light. And I can see in this piece that I actually have a ridge running down the middle. All right, how do we get rid of that? We take our wood, put it into the vise, nice and tight. And whatever side is, or whatever area is the highest, that's where you want to start. So if the surface was perfectly flat, we would have started over here on one side and then worked our way in. So when I originally did this piece of wood, I was high on the side that was closest to the rough side, low on the side closest to the reference surface. I actually flattened that and then had to unflatten it for the demonstration. So you come in with your plane, push it right through the known high area. And if you do that, you should get thin shavings. You should not be getting full shavings. All right. All right, remember, push all the way through the wood before lifting up and coming back. Okay, I'm closer to having a full length shaving there. All the way through. All right. Get a little dab of wax on the plane. Careful not to touch the blade. Okay, that helps it glide through the cut a little bit. Okay. We talked a little bit about that in the last video. Now, one thing that in the last video, I talked about the fact that I wasn't very good at sharpening. Still don't consider myself an expert at sharpening, but I did study up on it a little bit and use some of the techniques I learned from some of the masters out there. And I guess I can't plane and talk at the same time. Since I touched up the blade using the new techniques that I learned, the surface is actually so much nicer. Let me cut back on this. I think I'm taking too deep of a cut, so let's back that off a little bit. I mean, this surface now is so smooth. All right, let's check square again. All right, square. The surface is now perfectly flat, but what I've got is a high spot over here. All right, so let's come over here to the right side. Take a nice gentle cut there. Back that iron off a little bit more. Okay, now a little bit more. All right, now let's check square again. Keep checking it. This is until you become really good at this, and practice. Just keep checking square, keep going. High spot over there. Still got a high spot. Now what I'm finding, and this goes to technique, that I just naturally, I must rotate the plane just a little bit, because it always seems that my high spot is the side closest to me. The low spot is over on that side. But, all right. Start over on the side that's high. Work your way in. Flat, flat, square, square, square. Oh, yeah. Man. If I sound like I'm bragging, I am not, because this is something that I have always kind of struggled with, and to actually get it and make it look perfect, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe that. Once you've conquered a new skill and it comes out just perfect. And having that sharper blade makes this surface, it is absolutely ready for finish now. And I doubt there's any way the camera's going to pick that up. Okay, but just nice and smooth, silky smooth there. So that's it. Reference surface, reference surface. This now, by the way, becomes our second reference surface. And we're going to reference this surface now when we begin working on this one. So next week, or the next episode, we're going to talk about gauging, meaning how do we make this surface here now parallel to this. And we're going to do that through a technique called gauging. All right, I think that's going to do it, friends. Take care. God bless.